This is the Blink 182 Dudes podcast for all things Blink 182, Angels and Airwaves, Alkaline Trio, and more. With your host, Todd Riley, alongside Lloyd Holiday and Rick Miner. Don't blink, the show starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Todd Riley of the Blink 182 Dudes, joined alongside Lloyd Holiday. How you doing, Lloyd?
I'm good, Todd.
We
Good
are
to be here again.
Yep, we are back, and so is Blink 182 with California, the Deluxe edition coming out this week, or I guess technically last week. It leaked, I believe, last Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, a day after our last podcast.
Yeah, we tried to get our podcast episode out because we knew it was going to leak. They kind of brought this leak upon themselves, so I didn't want to talk about that. They sent out the albums Monday. They shipped them out Monday, knowing that their album release day was Friday, which I guess you don't want to upset fans by not having the album there.
Better early than late.
But yeah, you're just kind of asking for the album to get leaked.
Todd, real quick, you know who's not back today?
Yeah.
It's Rick Miner.
Rick Miner's not here today. Traveling from school, traveling back home, big moving day. It was a lot easier for him just to sit this one out than try to find a day that worked for him. He's got a crazy schedule these next few days. But hey, he's on his way to being Tom if he keeps abandoning us like
yeah,
this.
I think he's working his way out of the group here. 2 episodes in, but
yeah, and hey, we're gonna give him a chance. He should be back though next week. We're all gonna be in the same studio next week, so that'll be huge for us. One crisp, clean sound.
yeah, we're all gonna be on the same page, and I think Rick's really looking forward to joining the team in studio here.
Yeah. He's been out for a while, but we're looking forward to having him on. But back to Blink 182 news. Yeah, the album comes out Monday night. Someone who works in a record store, I believe, or if that's how you even would say that anymore, they sell CDs. They have the copy, and they sent out a couple videos, posted them on Reddit. I saw those right after we finished recording. I was like, great, it's gonna leak. So
just bad timing.
I quickly rushed to produce and finish the episode, get it online, and luckily it didn't leak that night. But I believe "Bottom of the Ocean," "Don't Mean Anything," and "Good Old Days" were the 3 songs you got like a 30-second preview of. And I was immediately excited for "Bottom of the Ocean," my favorite after hearing that. But we'll get to my final thoughts on that. But we got lucky that we beat the leak. I think that's what I named the episode, "Beat the Leak," because that was our goal to just get that episode
Perfect
out.
name.
And for those of you who were on Reddit that day, it was a crazy, crazy day. I remember I even said though on the episode that I wasn't going to be like waiting for this leak to come out. And that was until I saw the 3 songs. Like, all right, God, I'm kind of looking forward to it. But I went to bed Monday though without looking for it. I was like, all right, if it's going to be available, it'll be available Tuesday morning or Tuesday night. And again, I wasn't really looking for it. I checked Reddit when I woke up, wasn't there. And I checked Reddit on my lunch break, and someone posts a picture of their California Deluxe CD, and they're saying it came.
So it got
it got it. They got
1 day shipping.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're probably shipping from California, so.
Yeah.
You live in California, you're getting that, or it's anywhere on the West Coast, you're probably getting that within a day. So the kid posted it, says someone from Kingdom Leaks. I was actually trying to update our fans through our Twitter. I saw updates, that way they didn't have to go back and check from forth through Twitter or on Reddit. And someone basically said, I have the CD. They messaged someone from Kingdom Leaks messaged them asking for it so they could rip it and put it on for them. And the kid said he was going to do it, and then everyone's waiting. Like, everyone's, oh my God, it's going to be posted within the hour.
Big waiting game.
And then next thing you know, the kid deletes his thread on Reddit, and it's just gone. It's just, this kid doesn't want a part of it. I guess he was afraid of getting into legal trouble or whatever for leaking it, or just didn't really care to, I had my copy.
The fans up and then let them down.
Yeah, I have my copy. Why should I share it with you? So
yeah,
I tweet that from our account, and next thing you know, it's not happening, and everyone's tweeting me like, all right, well, when's it coming out? And I was like, stay tuned. Like, I'm trying to keep up as much as I can on Reddit.
Right.
And then later on, someone else, same thing. I have the CD. I'm willing to leak it. This was about 5 or 6 hours later, though, like at night.
So we're talking Tuesday evening here?
Yeah. So I see that, and then I think it came out like 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern time, and I got it. And I was excited about it. It was a crazy day. I went from telling everyone that I wasn't going to...
Emotional. It was an emotional roller coaster.
I went from telling everyone I wasn't going to keep track of when the leak was coming out. Would just find it. And
you were kind of like the head leak guy.
Yeah, I was literally reporting it to everyone step by step when it should be out. And it was a fun process. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, there were a lot of people relying on you there.
I don't think
including myself.
I don't think I sent it to you and Rick the second I was able to find a link for it as soon as it was. I was probably one of the first people to get that link.
I think
I was just I went
refreshing the page.
Yeah, went on Kingdom Leaks, and next thing you know, if you're on the page, it just updates automatically. It says
nice.
like new page available, California Deluxe, and
there it was.
Yep. But yeah, so we're gonna dive into California Deluxe. Before we do, I just want to give you guys a little heads up. We got on tap today, as you've probably seen through Instagram and Twitter. We have Momcilo Bozic, and we're gonna do an interview with him from Digital Marionette Studios. He's gonna talk about his artwork, a little bit about what he does, what it was like working with Blink. We have a couple of questions tweeted in and commented from fans, so that's great. We'll get to those questions as well. We're gonna, I thought it would be fun also on this episode to give our top 16 from California and California Deluxe and make, just one big album. I'm sure a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people still debating whether or not, this is better or not than California. So we're going to talk about that. And, Tom's in the news as always, announcing, we probably won't even have to get too much into this, but Tom announced that Angels and Airways is going to start recording some music for Strange Times. So I'm excited to hear that. I don't know what the timeline will be.
And whatever the timeline is that he says, don't take it too seriously. We've grown to know that Tom isn't always on time with these things, but regardless, we're excited to hear whenever it comes out. We're excited to hear it.
And what's kind of cool about this is, I do like this about Tom is that sucks that he doesn't have to stick to a schedule, but it's good in a way because he can release stuff whenever he wants.
Yeah.
With that To The Stars, production company and everything.
Right. He's not bound to certain dates.
Exactly. He can just throw it out whenever. So we could be getting a single within like a week or two if he finishes. Not that that's possible. It's possible, but not that it's likely.
Blink just put something out. He might want to fire back with a single of his own. You never know.
I think that's it. And I did. Speaking of that, I saw one comment either on Instagram, Twitter, or something, where someone said, "It's so funny because it's true." They're like, "All right, well, new Blink CD's out today. How many minutes are we waiting for Tom to put up a picture of him when he used to play in Blink or Angels and Airwaves saying big project coming soon or something like that?" And sure enough, this weekend, picture of him with his guitar saying new Angels and Airwaves this week.
Yeah, it's like clockwork.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm assuming that means he's going to start recording. I don't think that means we're getting anything this week, but regardless, I think that's what we would talk about later. So I don't think there's even any need to go into that later on. We just brought it up right now.
Just got carried away a little bit, but
that's classic Tom. He just took. It's a show about Blink-182, a band which he's no longer in or a part of at the moment, and we're talking about his new Angels and Airwaves before we even get into there. So I'm going to cross that off to today's agenda. Hats off to you, Tom. You got us to talk about it.
Did
before.
it again.
So yeah, let's just dive right into California Deluxe. I don't like how I'm saying that. It feels weird saying. Let's dive into I guess you got to say the deluxe edition.
I'm not sure what I want to call it. I want to come up with a little nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys
CD doesn't work, it just doesn't work at all.
Whatever. We'll keep trying it, but I don't like how it fits off or the rolls off the tongue. My big takeaway at first, after hearing the first 5 songs or 4 songs, whatever that was that came out, I really liked how they were bringing Skiba more into it, and it sounded like more like Matt Skiba, like something you would expect from him from Alkaline Trio or Matt Skiba and the Secrets.
He was letting his roots come out a little more than I thought we got at first with California.
Exactly, and I was really looking forward to more of that. Those next 5 songs or 6 songs, whatever it was, that were coming out, and then they come out, and I felt like he was kind of absent a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of research. Not research, but I didn't do a whole lot of like checking out reviews of this album because I wanted my takes on it to be strictly from me and not get influenced by anyone else. I didn't even ask you guys what you thought really yet, so this is all live here. We might have some arguments, some disagreements. But the one thing I did see was people complaining about the lack of Matt in it, and
which is really funny because it went from a lot of people saying Matt's ruining Blink, and then they
little 180 here.
And then with these songs, that the first 5 songs or whatever that came out, people were like, "Wow, this guy's, like I said, he's just a fucking cool dude."
Yeah.
So people, start finally getting warmed up to him, and then they just kind of didn't say cut him off, but he was pretty silenced on those newer songs.
Yeah, it was more Mark focused than
like
Matt.
Good Old Days of the song, especially. Like I think Matt would have felt a little bit out of place on that track. Which
that's not a Matt song.
Yeah, but it gets an example. He just wasn't there. We'll get into it. We'll just go down the list of songs. We're gonna go one by one. We'll talk about the ones that we've talked about before, such as like Parking Lot, Misery, 6-8.
Yep. For
a little bit, just kind of refresh. Let you guys know what we think, how they stand out now. I know for one, I think 6-8 is definitely a top one for me. It might not have been the time it first came out, so we'll get to that.
Okay, I want to preface before also that if we did this show again in maybe 2 months, my list, and I'm assuming your list also, Todd, could be completely different. A lot of times with these songs, you need a bunch of listens through. Not that I haven't constantly been playing them, but
it's the only thing I've been listening to.
It needs to grow onto you a little bit, and I don't know. It might be interesting to actually go back and do that at one point.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we're going to have to, because like you said, opinions change, 2 months.
Yeah. So this is our list as of now. But first, we're just going to go through the songs.
Yeah. So we're going to start off, like I said, we'll go through one by one of the California Deluxe and give our kind of big what we would put on one album if we had to pick 16 songs. We chose 16 because that's, the original length of California, so that seems like a fair number. So yeah, we'll start with California Deluxe though. Just go one by one, let you guys know what we think. Start off with Parking Lot. My opinion hasn't changed on this at all.
Nope. Same here.
I do kind of see why they led with it, because it pretty much is the only song that's like a Blink type song.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Don't Mean Anything, but it just like I said, I love how Matt starts it off. I like his part. I had no problem with. I just didn't really care for Mark's verse. I didn't care for the na-na-nas. It's not a bad song. It's just definitely not my favorite, and I don't care much for it.
It never really stood a chance to make my album. I'm just gonna throw that out there right away.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't know. It kind of, like you said, I think in our first episode, you said it about yourself, and I think we as a trio here can agree that we related to Matt's parts more than Mark's parts. I think that's why we liked it a little better.
Yeah.
But yeah, the na-na-nas, it's been a whole lot of them lately. Sometimes they work better than others. I do think there are times where it sounds better.
Yeah.
But
they were a little bit absent on the newer songs.
Yeah,
too.
I think there was one where there was something going on that really stood out to me, and I didn't even hate it that much. But yeah, overall, it's pretty much staying the same place with this song. Not a huge fan of it. I do get why they put it out first. It's got that old kind of Blink feel to it, but I don't think it really does a whole lot for me now.
One of the things I saw, it's not just us. I remember I was scrolling down through Reddit, this week, just seeing what everyone before the album came out, and one of the threads was just like, "Why does everyone hate Parking Lot?" So it's not just us. A lot of people, and like you said, I did try to stay away from reviews, so I don't know how like people put that in their full album review or anything like that, but I know for a fact that Parking Lot definitely was getting some deserved flack.
Yeah, I mean, Blink likes the song. I was on a whole other website, a sports website. I was trying to watch a video, and there was like a 15-second ad, and it was actually a Blink California Deluxe ad saying the song came out, and they're saying the album came out, and the song that they used was Parking Lot. I just thought, I don't know.
That might have been the one they had originally, though.
It could have been.
First came out, but still, I'm sure they didn't change it up. I
think the reason for that is, like you said, it's got a Blink feel to it, though. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll move it along here. We'll just go right down the line. Go to Misery. I think that's the best song on the album, hands down.
Oh, wow. Best song. I mean, it's in my top couple, but I don't know if I'm ready to say best song on the album. Yeah.
Definitely on Deluxe. Just Deluxe alone, I would say.
Are you talking?
Yeah, I'm talking just Deluxe.
Yeah, I still don't.
You still wouldn't
fully agree with that, but it's in my top couple.
Okay. Go on.
Still like it. It's a little slower, but at the same time, or like darker. I don't know the whole idea of it, but at the same time, I like the sound of it. Again, that one hasn't changed for me. I'll say that's top 3 in the album. And
okay, I respect
in
that.
the Deluxe.
I want to hear what you say is your favorite song. So I still don't know. You haven't told me that.
I don't. We're gonna find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out when we get there.
We'll find out. But yeah, like I have written down here that I think both Matt and Mark shine in this song. Like it's both their strengths. Like Mark with those dark, deep vocals, things like that, and then Matt just killing that chorus. It's just, I think they both really just strive in it. They both show their strength.
Yeah, this is a good one. I don't know. And it's the thing that was different about this when it first came out was that after the whole upbeat
Parking Lot,
and even California as a whole, the original album,
yeah,
it was different.
And even after like a whole listen through this album, I would say this is mostly a pretty dark album. Besides maybe Good Old Days. I feel like
there are a few more upbeat, but it's really overall it's definitely a darker feeling. And
maybe Wildfire's upbeat, but I think for the most part it's a pretty dark album.
I think that's kind of, and I think we brought it up on the podcast. The black cover of the
exactly.
album, it was planned that way, and
I'm sure in some aspect that had to be some kind of thought process, because there's no way that they didn't think to do that, and if they didn't, it was a great mistake.
Phenomenal mistake. I've said before that I'm usually a big fan of like a slower, darker song. Not that I'm a slow, dark person, But I don't know. I just like the way those songs sound a lot of times. So Misery definitely a good one for me.
Yeah, we don't want to get too much into these ones because we've already touched on them in previous episodes.
Yeah, we're gonna dive deeper into the newer ones.
Good Old Days.
Speaking of which,
it's a new one. Upbeat, like we said, might be the only like upbeat song on the album. And the verses though still kind of start off kind of like, I don't want to say dark, but kind of like depression.
Yeah,
like
even when you have a happy song,
it's like where did I go missing? Where did I go wrong? And then like that upbeat chorus is great.
I'm gonna say this right now. I think this is my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I was texting a buddy of mine. We were just talking about how I was texting him, and he was asking me like what my favorite songs were, and I was kind of afraid to tell him that I thought Good Old Days was because I feel like it's like even though it's catchy and poppy, like it's a really great song.
I feel exactly what you mean by like afraid to say it.
I haven't checked through Reddit or YouTube or anything like that to check comments out.
Neither have I.
I want to know what the fans are thinking about this one because I feel like I thought it was going to be one that was going to get a lot of flack, like, oh, this is so Feldman and so overproduced poppy, but it's a good song. Like
my note that I wrote down for this one of them was that my gut feeling is people are going to hate it, but I love it. Like I think, like you said,
like I said, I was afraid to tell him that I thought this was a great song. He was asking me what my favorites were, and I put in Misery and I put in 6-8, and I left this out just because I didn't want him to, be like, oh come on, man, it's so. And then he actually his text back was, I love Good Old Days.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, I was on board with that. I was just kind of afraid to tell you about it.
I think Good Old Days is one of the 30-second clips that came out.
Yeah, that was one of them, and it was the chorus, which was the best part of the whole song.
Awesome. I think it kind of keeps, and I've said before, like with parking lots, the feel of not growing up and like we're being kids, it kind of like it didn't feel right there, and that's what the song is sort of about too. Like it's meant. I think one of the lines in the chorus, the
bridge,
we're
not gonna. I don't want to sing, but yeah, we're not growing up. He says.
So
I think that's the only point where Matt sings. I think he says they just repeat it, but Matt says it the second time.
Yeah, but it just it feels better in this one.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel as forced.
Exactly.
Like we're gonna talk like we're 18 again. But
out of like in Wildfire, I thought it felt a little not out of place, but just a little strange when I first heard it.
I can see that.
I heard it in Good Old Days, and I was like, okay, yeah, like you said, it fits a lot better.
Now, and again, I don't know if this is just my opinion, like liking this song more than everyone else is going to, but this one feels like kind of like I could hear this on the radio. Like I could see this become a single.
Yeah, I think.
With the catchy chorus.
I was actually out Friday night, and we were talking about how most people still aren't even aware that Blink's making music. And we were sitting around like a fire, and someone had their Spotify on, someone saw that I was there, so they put Going Away to College on. I'm like, oh, it's my favorite. It's like, this is my favorite Blink song. That's what the kid said. And he goes, was Blink still making music? And I was like, they actually came out with a brand new album today. And he couldn't believe it.
There's a pretty good podcast talking about it, too.
And check out the Blink-182 dudes if you haven't. And he goes, wow, like really? And I was trying to, I didn't want to put on a new song. So, like, I don't like when people try to force music on me, so I didn't want to do that. But I was thinking in my head,
pressure on yourself too. Like this is our band.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta find a good one for
them. And I was thinking which song I would probably pick to show them, and I couldn't think at first what song I would pick to show them because like you got to pick like a pretty broad group of people that they're gonna like a poppy song. And Good Old Days I think would have been the choice.
I've said before that even this might be a little drastic, but starting like from the original hiatus, like since then there's been really good songs obviously, but I don't feel like there's been a song that has like the radio hit feel like you'd get back in the day with like What's My Age Again, All the Small Things, like First Date. And I'm not saying this is there, but like there really hasn't been a single like that.
No, yeah. Bored to Death, they get radio play, but that's not going to get like pop radio play.
It's not something that you're going to hear like you still hear All the Small Things, like you'll hear it in bars like
exactly
close to 20 years later. Like I haven't felt one like that yet, and I don't know, maybe over time it'll turn out that there is one like that because it's early still with all these songs, but I don't know. This chorus is just really catchy, and I almost had a feel like
I'm like pretty excited for the next time I go to a pregame or something like that and have the opportunity to pop this on because it's like you mentioned, it's a great song, very catchy, and it could easily pick up some radio play and
for sure
be one of those songs that puts Blink back on there at least to like the general public.
This is one that I would be looking forward to seeing live at Blinken Park if I was smart and bought my tickets yet.
You still haven't gotten bought them. I keep wondering which of these songs they're going to choose to play live because now that the album's out, they have to.
I've got one that I think is a good live song. We'll get to it when
Well,
we
we
get
just
there.
haven't gotten to it yet.
But it just feels like it'll be good.
I can't imagine. Like I said, I can't imagine Good Old Days being played live. Like it's one of their best, but
Don't think it's going to be in there?
I feel like that might have too much of a like I mentioned, like Feldman work to it.
Yeah, they have other songs.
Yeah, like a lot of synth
like that,
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that
that's
might be
true.
too much to play. Like I would be curious.
That's the thing.
I'd be curious to see what it sounded like live. Not that they can't, but it would. I feel like it would take more work.
Yeah, I'm
like,
pretty
with,
bad
like,
at
a backing
taking that
track.
into account, that
Yeah.
you need like songs like this. You're not just going to be able to go out with a guitar, bass, and a drums
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
recreate the sound.
There's some synth in there, but that's a backing track, and I'm sure that's something they could easily figure out.
Yeah.
So let's just move it along. This was one. The next song, "Don't Mean Anything." This was one I felt like it was just kind of a filler. I don't hate it. I don't know. I don't hate it, but it just doesn't do anything for me.
The one thing I liked about this, like obviously in pretty much all these songs, you get both Matt and Mark singing.
Yeah.
There were some songs. I don't know if they've had a song together where just one of them sang it, and
Well, Good Old Days was close, and then Matt comes in at
Yeah,
that
he comes in at
last
the end.
bridge.
But I mean, you think back in the day, there were songs where just Tom would sing or just Mark
yeah,
would sing. I'm
and I
pretty
remember
sure.
when California first came out, I was pretty critical of Mark for not being able to put together one song on his own.
Yeah.
On a Blink-182 album, which is his band. You know,
Exactly.
I felt like he was unable to carry it himself. But I guess thinking back to it, it's more of just them trying to introduce Matt.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But still, at the same time, like.
I think I got a little off there. What I was trying to start
Yeah,
to say
sorry,
was...
yeah.
No,
Before we
I
go on a
kinda
whole
took
tangent,
that,
go ahead.
I kind of took that somewhere else. But I like how the chorus... So like I was saying, they go back and forth in all these songs. But I like how the chorus is both of them. And I'm not going to sing it either. Just go listen to it. But it's kind of like... I think Matt picks up right where Mark leaves off in one sense. It sounds good when they switch over mid-chorus. A lot of times it'll be verse-chorus, then switch, like verse-chorus.
No, I know what you mean. I think
But
that's
I
I think
did
that's a
like the
cool
sound of that.
technique that they can use.
But with that being said, not a whole lot in this song really stood out to me as like off the bat popped
Yeah.
out as like going to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, it was just like,
I think I definitely like Matt's verse better, the second verse.
yeah, me too. And I don't know, it didn't do anything for me. What they said about it before it came out was the first irritation was so influenced by the police that we had to scrap it and start over. It didn't sound like one particular song, just sonic quality of it, the guitar sound, the way the bass was broken up, the drum pattern. It was a straight Police ripoff. And I think then it said obviously they didn't want to like sound like they're ripping off another band or anything like that, but I think that would be something I would be interested to hear that version of, because this version just sounded like too much like they were just trying to put together
let's
a
get another
Blink
song in
song.
there.
Yeah, it just sounded like something they put together really quick.
When I first played this song, I think it was this one. I was pumped for it after like the first 4 notes of guitar because it reminded me of Adam's song, like the intro to Adam's song.
A lot of people are saying that
Are
too.
they?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm glad I'm with the Blink fans.
I
then.
did see that scrolling through when the leak first came out. Just like a couple people, like I think like the
It was
Reddit
just like,
subject line was
it
like
was-
guitar riff sounds like Adam's song,
Yeah,
something like that. That
but
was
it
the one
just
thing
for
I
a
did
second
say,
there,
yeah.
and then the song came in, and I don't know, I had my hopes up, and it didn't really come through. For
Yeah,
me.
it was just like I said. It just felt like a filler to me. I don't want to keep talking about it because there's really not much to talk about. So I'll just move on to the next one. Go on to Hey, I'm Sorry. This one wasn't really new for me. I heard it last summer when it came out on the Japanese version or whatever. That we'll never understand that.
Just a weird add-in.
But my takeaway is this song was kind of wasted in my opinion. I love the verses. I love like the dark feel, the like kind of like the banded feel to it, and the chorus is just. No, I don't want it to be too harsh, but it's just awful in my opinion.
I think this is the song that has it's not na, but it's like whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And just like Hey, I'm Sorry. It's just like they repeat
real,
it.
like
I get when artists do that, they try to like repeat things and try to like make it emphasize a point or something like that, but it just didn't fit here. It seemed very lazy. And like it's just like hey,
it's
just very lazy in my opinion. I was kind of let down because like it was my initial reaction to it when I heard it the first time last summer was just these verses are awesome. Like I love the piano in the background, things like that.
Yeah.
Even the pre-chorus with Matt's great. And then just I don't know. I
kind of like liken it to Don't Mean Anything. Like it's there. I listen to it. It's not bad, but it's not popping out as one of the best for me.
I remember when I first heard it. It was after California came out, so it was like a month after. So it was like I played it a lot just because it was a newer song. But it's gonna get one that's just gonna be like I left it off. Spoiler. I left it off my California my California Mega CD with 16 songs. Just it couldn't keep it on
Couldn't
there.
crack the top 16. The one thing I did like about it, I think the best sound in it was the last chorus. They cut most of the music, and it was just like, I think it's just drums and vocals.
Yeah,
and I love the way that sounds. Yeah,
yeah.
I think any song when you kind of just go almost a cappella.
Yeah, when you can strip it
not
down.
a big music guy in terms of terms like that, but I think that's almost a cappella.
Yeah, just
with little
literally
drums.
just the drum. But I think there was one more thing I was gonna say about it, but I can't really remember. No, I can't remember. So I'll just move it along.
All right, so next up we have Last Train Home.
Yeah, and I remember this one when the leak first came out. My Reddit page was still up, and it either automatically refreshed or I refreshed just to see how many new threads were already posted just after like 10 minutes of it being leaked. And people were saying like Last Train Home is amazing. Like that was like I saw at least like 6 Reddits, like subreddits for that subject. I was like, all right, that might be one of the first ones I check out, which wasn't. It was Bottom of the Ocean was the first one I listened to, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. But Last Train Home, I don't know if I've said this yet or not, but my first takeaway just listening through all like the 4 or 5 new songs was just like I didn't have any reaction. It was just like a blank kind of just like I got to listen through again because I'm really not sure what I just listened to.
Like I said, we hadn't really talked about these at all until now with each other. I did text you after I listened to it the first time, and I was just like, I listened through. I don't really have anything to say right now.
We
so
both were just kind of lost, just like.
And now we're talking here.
Yeah, like I didn't know what just happened, and that's like the only way to describe it. It just
not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it was just like I guess I was like after you hear California, the songs that came out like they were like Parking Lot could have fit on California, Misery and 6-8. I think were like different. But Wildfire was back to that Blink sound, and I heard Hey I'm Sorry that still had that California feel to it. And these songs just like I said, maybe besides Don't Mean Anything, didn't have that feel to it at all, and they were all just very different, which I liked because
you want some diversity in there.
Yeah, it felt kind of like Neighborhoods in a way almost, because it had these songs that were darker and just like kind of switched up the album, which you expect in an album to hear like different varieties of songs,
right? And
you really didn't get too much of that in California, which I think like songs like Last Train Home would have made California a little bit more interesting. And
so what's your overall take on it? You don't have to give it away if it's on there yet. This might give it away.
Yeah, I know. It took me a while to get used to it because I remember. See, like that's why I try not to look at anything because people saying how great it was set these high expectations for me, and I hear it and I was just like, "What? Like it's not that great." And then after a couple listens, I guess you kind of get like the overall feel of like the song because I was kind of waiting for like a big chorus like they have in most of their songs, just like something to like kind of send it off. But this and kind of like Long Lost Feeling, they don't ever really build up, which is I learned that it's not really a bad thing.
Yeah.
Wildfire kind of was the same way, never picked up, and then the chorus or the final bridge/chorus it picks up there. But there was none of that really.
This one and there was one other one that had kind of an Alkaline Trio feel to it.
Yeah, this one was very Alkaline Trio. I will say that.
And I'm a fan of that. That's not a bad thing to me. And again, it's Matt bringing a little more of what he's used to and what he's done into this band. And this is actually the one that I had noted that I think this would be a good live song. And I feel like I just get this gut feeling that you're not going to agree with me. But I don't know what it was. Maybe it's when Matt's singing, and then there's that line where there's Mark in the background saying...
The only time I feel alive is when
I find something I could die for, would die for. Which I think a lot of fans like.
Yeah, I like that line.
That's a good one. But I could see like Matt's going live, and then you got Mark in the background vocals singing that song.
I think that would be a cool acoustic song.
I think I could see that too. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like this one could end up in a show.
I wouldn't hate it if it did. I just don't know if it will. I don't think it has a lot of like I said, there's no big core. Like you got to take that into consideration. Like most of the songs they play live do have that kind of like because you're at a show. And like it would be cool to kind of like, because I would say like Not Now is kind of like that in the verses, but that has a pretty big chorus. But yeah, like I'm just getting stuck trying to find the words to describe this, but it's a really good song. I like that it doesn't I like that it's just like this and Long Lost Feeling. I'm a fan of for that. Like it kind of just like keeps the same pace and it's just like very soft spoken almost.
Right.
The verses are kind of like upbeat, not upbeat, but like kind of like. I don't know how to describe them. A little bit like mysterious in a way, like kind of just like that quick.
Yeah, definitely.
The verses happen really quick. Like they're telling a story. Next thing you know, it's that mellow part of the chorus, which I like.
Yeah. It's overall,
It meshes well.
it does. I guess I'm about to give a spoiler alert, and I started the sentence, so I'm not going to stop. But this one does make my my combo album.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the better songs on this from what I've heard in my many listens this week.
Yeah. No, I like I said, I had a little bit too much hype for it just from that like those few comments I saw, which is why I try to stay away from it. And eventually it did grow on me. I still don't think it's anything like I don't think it's like their best work, but it's a pretty cool song.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at your notes. Are we moving on to
Yeah,
we have two of the older ones in between, so we're gonna hit them first, but we have some differing feelings on Long Lost Feeling, and we're gonna get there. But I just saw your note on it, and we'll save that for another minute, I guess.
Yeah.
Wildfire
and 6-8 we're gonna get to really quick. We talked about Wildfire a lot last week, probably more than the other songs because we had basically almost a whole episode devoted to just
we don't need to dive too deep into this.
Yeah.
I still feel the same way. Love the ending.
I think the verses
like the song a lot.
Verses are okay. I would have loved an actual like upbeat chorus kind of type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the ending is amazing. I don't know how they're gonna top like an ending like that. I think that, like I said, I'm a sucker for those looping choruses with all this.
It's awesome.
But
still feel the same way about it.
Yeah,
I guess.
no, it's
I
a
think we
good
both
song.
do.
And so I missed the note on Good Old Days. I don't know if we should jump back to it or not, but I feel like I have to throw this in there. But in Good Old Days, that last chorus, I feel like, did you notice how it kind of goes on too long?
Mm-hmm.
Like it loops and then it kind of just like stays the same. They don't add anything to it. And I feel like that would have been a good spot for adding like a loop, like a different vocal.
That would have been cool. That
even if it was
nice.
just like an alternate chorus that didn't make the first cut, they tried again and loop that. That would have been a cool ass because
I like that idea.
Because it's such a good, powerful chorus, and like that's the last one, you gotta kill it.
Yeah,
like, kind of like how they did with Wildfire, and I just feel like that was a great spot to add more lyrics or maybe just like a harder, like another synth. Like,
I think if Good Old Days had a Wildfire-esque ending, it would have been like hands down.
I think they really missed an opportunity there. But yeah, we'll go back to, like I said, Wildfire. That looping chorus / bridge, whatever you want to refer to it as, was a great way to end the song, and I probably one of my favorite endings on all these songs.
Yeah, I think my favorite ending and one of my favorite songs.
And then just jump right into 6-8. This is top two from the deluxe
got a
for me.
top two.
Yeah, Misery and 6-8. 6-8. This is one where it took me a while. I don't even know if I liked it this much last time we talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know if you did, but like we said, songs will grow on you.
It grew on me a lot. Just like just everything about it. Mark's verses. Like the kind of dark feel to it, things like that. Matt screams in the background. Which, I don't know if for the 6-8 version that's on the actual album is different ending than the 6-8 version they put on YouTube. Matt's scream at the end where he says more. I'm not going to make an attempt at that scream, but if you listen to it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It kind of comes through a lot, and it's a little bit more raw at the end. And it's such a small thing, but I like that version so much better for that reason. It's very raw. It's very like, it feels like you're in the room listening to him scream. It's a really cool thing.
I actually hadn't heard or hadn't re-listened to it, I guess, since the deluxe, since everything was released. I was kind of just pounding the
new ones out.
And you just showed me before we started recording today, and I liked it a lot better too.
It's really cool, it's like I said, it makes you feel like you're in the room. It's really raw and authentic.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what I kind of like about in Cynical. I don't know if you ever saw that or not, where Mark posted the video of Matt screaming, "What's the point of saying sorry now?"
I may have. I'm not sure.
I'll show you a little bit later, so we're not doing that. But it's I might even put a little sound clip of that original thing right here.
What's the point of saying sorry now?
But yeah, it's very raw, and I feel like the actual song doesn't sound that much different from it. I feel like that fits in, pretty well.
Yeah,
there.
for sure. I like this song, but I'm not. It's not a top two for me. It's not a. Here we go again with a spoiler, but it's not top making my 16.
Wow.
I think we're gonna go back to back songs here that we disagree on. I think for the most part we're relatively on the same page.
Yeah, wow. I can't believe you would put 6-8 on your.
I don't know why. Maybe it's maybe this is a little like biased towards the ones that just came out where I'm listening to them a ton and I'm liking them. And that could be the issue with releasing a song here and there.
Yeah,
but
6-8 is a great. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll fight about that later when we go over our top 16. I'm just gonna grill you when you put a song. I feel like Sober's still on your list.
Let's just say Sober never stood a chance of coming off my list.
Wow. Oh my god. Wow. We got to move
We'll
on
get
here.
to
'Cause
that.
I will scream at him for an hour over this. Let's go down the next song. Long Lost Feeling. This was another one when I first heard. I was just like, wow, nothing happened over these like 3.5 minutes during this song. And then I really like this song a lot. It sounds like it's a perfect Mark Hoppus song. It sounds like something that would have been on the Plus 44 record.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's kind of funny. You've Todd's got his notes up here, and he's got a good amount of notes for most of these songs. For Long Lost Feeling, all he has is 3 words: love this song.
There's not much else to say about it, honestly.
My take on it was I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. Just not a huge fan. But
Really?
Maybe it'll grow on me. I think the issue was, like you said, the first listen.
There's nothing
doesn't jump out at
Nothing
you.
happens during the song. I'll say that.
And-
If you're not like a fan of Blink and everything, and you're not going to dissect it as much as we do
Yeah.
and things like that, this song's just going to kind of just go in one ear and out the other.
It's a good sound.
Yeah,
It is a good sound, but it's just nothing pops out, and then
nothing really changes. Maybe besides that bridge, where it's like the bass drums kicking and he's saying "Say goodbye till it hurts." I didn't. Was it that one? No, I thought maybe they could have. I didn't like "and fireworks" and things like that. I didn't really like that line. If that's like the one thing I don't like about it, but I really like when Skiba's screaming. Like I said, like Skiba's voice is awesome. So when he's screaming like "say goodbye," and I didn't mean to sing like that, but yeah,
I've got a note in another one of these songs that Matt's voice is just like
he's got a great voice, dude.
I don't think I've really appreciated it.
No,
until
exactly.
now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there should have been more of that. More just like celebrating how Matt's finally like a part of this band, and we're
he's a
letting him.
man.
Yeah, and this was the album to kind of let loose a little bit, and they did with those first couple of songs, like we said. But then in the newer batch that came out after all those singles, we kind of lost him a little bit, and I felt like he was kind of silenced.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have too much more to add to this song. I'm hoping this will be one that grows on me. I think it's got a chance to, but I don't know. Only time will tell.
If you have a soul, it will. This next song might possibly be the biggest letdown for me.
Where are we here? Bottom of the ocean.
Bottom of the
Wow,
ocean.
We're disagreeing again.
This was one where the 30-second preview comes out, and it's just the chorus, like the pre-chorus with like the Skiba screaming after Mark's like quick lines and things like that, and then Skiba screaming, and it goes in that chorus, and the chorus is great. It's fast, it's hard, it's loud, it's dark. And then the only thing I didn't like about the chorus was the bottom, like where they actually say "bottom of the ocean." That felt a little Fall Out Boyish to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but to me, it just felt like something like that.
The whole song was. I mean, I saw it was titled "Bottom of the Ocean," and I thought, there was a lot of like lines in there where we're talking about waves and we're talking about actually like it kind of felt like this thing was actually talking about an ocean at some points. I don't know. My first listen through it, I thought it was like one of the weirdest songs I've ever heard Blink put out.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think this is a lot weirder than 6/8 by far.
It's way different. But I really like the way the instruments, like the sound of the song in this one.
This is the one
I
they
think people
stress.
aren't gonna like maybe, but it fancied my ears.
Well, like I said, I was so stoked for it when I first heard and I like
30-second.
And here's my thing: I still think it has a great chorus, and I love the bridge, and the verses just kind of feel like a Backstreet Boys song, or like
weird.
a Christina Aguilera type thing. It's just like it's like that. It's just like, and it's soft, and I feel like this.
I think what I like, it's kind of like, it's weird because it's like a combination of dark and like upbeat at the same time. I don't know. It's like a weird combination to me, and I think it's just like, I like the combination.
I
It's
guess they
different.
were kind of just trying to build up, because it does build up. It starts soft, and then that bridge makes it a little darker, and that chorus is like it finally kicks off. But this, when I first heard it, I tweeted this from my personal account. I tweeted that, like, has anyone heard that preview? Like, it sounds like something like almost like Easy Target. And
Great
I guess
song.
exactly, and that's what the kind of vibe I got that it was going
Yeah,
to
I can
be
see
like.
that.
And then just that the
Didn't
verses,
fully come
just,
through.
yeah. And that was the first. This was the first one I listened to. That was the one I was most excited for.
Didn't
and it just
didn't fulfill the expectations.
And like
I
I
guess,
said,
huh?
I do like this song, but the verses are just like, come on, be better.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about that?
No, other than
We
I think we're-
disagree?
This is the third one where I don't disagree fully. Yeah, you're making some good points here, but I think it's just a different sound. I was really looking forward to hearing all these new, just not the same like upbeat sounds. And like I said, that combination of it's just like weird synth instruments, like sounds.
And
It
I
works
will
for me.
say this. Remember last week when I was trying to figure out which song, because I had the notes of what Mark had said about each song before they came out, but I didn't feel like pulling them up. And I said, I feel like Bottom of the Ocean was the one he said was like more synth and based around synth rather than guitar. And I was right.
He wasn't kidding.
So I got it. I don't remember what I even bet on it. I think I just said I wouldn't listen
You
to the
didn't?
leak if I got it wrong, but I got it right. And yeah, I think that's a good way to end that song. We'll move on to the last two, which these ones there really aren't much to talk about. You know, we talked about Can't Get You More Pregnant probably 2 weeks ago. It's just, you know, it's a funny song, but not their best joke song. I don't get how they keep putting these as like their last like this should have been in the middle of the album. I feel like I don't like it when they kind of end an album on like Bohemian Rhapsody should not have been.
Yeah, you want to pop it in the middle there.
Yeah.
It's a joke song. It's not, you know, just throw it in the middle. A little,
Yeah.
I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's just like a little something in the middle
it's,
there.
It's
Have
a
some
little
songs
fun.
in that.
It's a little fun break
Yeah,
for
a little
everyone.
fun.
I don't think it's their best joke song at all. For I'll just tell you right now for my combined California record, I did not put this one on there because there's 3 joke songs. So I only picked one of the 3.
We both picked one, and
Yeah.
we both did not pick this one.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, there's really not much to say about it. It's funny. That's great to see Blink still has that sense of humor.
Yeah, you still want one of those in every album.
And especially on such a dark album. It's funny to see that. And like I do think it's like a funny concept, but it's just, you know, not
Not their best.
yeah,
not their best
blown
joke
away
song.
by it. And then finally, Bored to Death, the acoustic version, is how they wrap this thing up, which I was not looking forward to at all. I don't think I even listened to it when I first had the leak. I think I skipped over it. And then like a day or two later, I listened to
really?
it. And I liked it a lot. And why I wasn't really looking forward to it, because I had seen Bored to Death acoustic, you know, through YouTube and things like that. And I just don't like how it's so like dark and mellowed out compared to the song, which is just this upbeat, like just loud song and things like that.
Yeah.
Just like
It's definitely.
it's
little more
a
dark.
different vibe, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
I made a comment last week that I think I went as far as to say that this song could be on the radio, this acoustic version. I'm gonna backtrack and say that might have been a crazy statement to make. Might have been getting ahead of myself. I'm a big fan of acoustic songs.
Maybe
So,
like on like an alternative rock, like acoustic hour session, things like that. But I
don't think they're popping this out.
yeah,
as a
I can't see
single.
this like on like not pop radio, but just like, you know, songs that you would hear
Yeah.
like in like a cafe or things like that. I don't think it would be like.
It. I like the feel of it though. I was looking forward to it more, so I listened to it. I listened to all the other songs first, but that was the last one I listened to of the deluxe.
Yeah, I just wasn't in a rush to get
And
to
this
it.
is where I really think I like Matt's voice. Kind of like I was like, oh shit, this like
Yeah, no, he's like I said.
I always knew he had a good voice, but like he's got a really good voice, and you can with the acoustic you feel a little more.
He has a few acoustic songs that he's done by himself with like Matt Skiba and the Secrets. And one song I'm gonna tell everyone to go listen to if you haven't and you liked him on Bored to Death. The acoustic version is Vienna by Matt Skiba and the Secrets. It's on the album Cuts. It's like a 2.5-minute song. It's got acoustic guitar and a little bit piano and some synth. It's
a great combo there.
Oh my god, and you wouldn't think with his voice it's like he would really work, but for him, for whatever reason, he just kills it.
Yeah, he like after all the Alkaline Trio, I don't know. I never thought of him as like just like a good singer. It's more just like it works. It's darker songs.
Yeah, no,
It sounds good, but now I'm realizing like this guy's actually got a really good voice.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to end it. Just compliment our boy Matt Skiba. I wish, you know, like I
We're
said,
big on Matt these days.
we'll go final thoughts right here. What do you say your final thoughts are?
On the album overall,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna toss it out there. Not as good as California, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, I would say that too. I think
But I don't think you don't expect it to be because it really is like it's almost like the backup to
yeah.
California.
And I think anyone who's saying that is just
it's a little recency bias there.
it's just
there.
yeah, it just came out. Give it a little bit. You won't be saying that in about a month, maybe in a month or two, but a year from now you won't be saying that this album is
Yeah.
better than the original version of California because you forget how many great songs are on that album. Just like
When I was going through making my 16, I was like, oh man, like this,
I thought I was gonna have a
Got
lot
some
more
hits on
trouble
here.
cutting songs off, but there was a couple that I was willing to part ways with. But like
sober.
even like songs like even songs like The Only Thing That Matters on California, like it's a quick 2-minute song that like you probably don't think much of, but I love that song.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. That was borderline for me, and I forget if I took that off or not. So we'll find out together in a minute.
All right, well, this actually is a perfect time. We're getting a call in now from Momcilo Bozic with Digital Marionette Studios, and we're gonna have him join us right now. And we're joined now by Momcilo Bozic from Digital Marionette Studios. Momcilo, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good, bro. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Good.
We're honored to have you on. We're big fans of your work. For those of you unaware, Momcilo Bozic is I guess, what would you describe that as? A designer?
Well, I do many things, right? But in this case, I was doing like lyric videos, like motion graphics artist.
Yeah,
like-
that's the word.
Yeah,
Chances are, if our fans have gone to YouTube for these new Blink songs, you've seen his work and you've probably loved it just as much as us do.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's incredible. The paintbrush, the strokes, just I remember I actually showed my mom one of the songs.
Yeah?
She's not big into listening to Blink-182, and she said, I don't really like the music. I like the lyrics, but she said the lyric video itself is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Thanks,
cool.
man.
So you're able to capture a different audience.
You got the mom audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom audience. Yeah. I'm
So if
a
you
little
wanna
bit
take
older
my mom
too.
out on
I'm
a-
40. Yeah.
You want to take
How
my
old is
mom
your
out on
mom?
a date? So let's just jump in. What made you want to get into your line of work?
So I went to school in 2001. I graduated from an art school in Seattle, and then I just started doing right away work, and all of a sudden, like I was only doing like music stuff. I joined this company where we would have all the bands come through the town, and that's how I ended up just doing music interviews, performances, music videos, and things like that. That's how it started, like with the music thing, and it just grew from there.
So you would say that you're a pretty big fan of music, and that's kind of how you like. Would you say that's like your favorite part about your line of work? Like you're a big music guy, or is it just something you were good at and you ended up sticking with it because you were good at it and it was getting the bills paid?
Yeah, exactly. But like the music has been the biggest driver of the whole thing. Is like from listening to like classics, Led Zeppelin, the Stones. It's just like stuck to me, man. So I used to play in a punk rock band when I was a kid, but that was like
Really?
that was in Croatia. That was in Croatia when I was a refugee over there. Like we were playing to like more hardcore punk music. My favorite band was NoFX, and then last year I actually worked with NoFX too. So that was really crazy. Like how 25 years later, like you're working with your idols. So that was really something else.
Yeah. So were you a fan of Blink growing up at all?
When I moved to the United States, that's when I got really introduced to Blink and the whole pop punk music and things like that. So yeah, I was a totally big fan because I was just looking at what was my favorite track, and definitely like the "Stake Together" for the Kids. It's like one of my favorite old tracks that really is like that punchy energy. I could relate to it, like when people are saying they're dropping the bass right now. This is how that track was for that time. So it's just like, boom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that just blows you away. That big triumphant chorus is awesome. So how did you get involved with working with Blink-182? When did that happen?
That happened. I believe it was like in 2013. I was in LA, and a mutual friend introduced me to Travis, and then I ended up doing um, some work for his single actually, "'Cause I'm Famous." It's like with all the cool rappers, Yellow Wolf.
Yeah, Travis does a lot of work with those guys.
Yeah, so that was one of the first official videos I did for him. But before that, I did some remixes and mashups and things like that, and that's how it ended up connecting, and my work kind of started getting into that circle of people. And
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's so cool. So you met Travis first, and then so when did you have you met Mark and Matt? And if so, like, what are those guys like?
I actually met him at the show last tour when they came through in Spokane. It was my buddy's birthday, so I took him out. It was like a VIP thing, and we saw them in performing, doing the sound check, and it was really cool, man. Like they were all like nobody was allowed to have nothing signed or anything, but after I told to Travis I'm the dude that does their videos, like he was actually open to have me later to come in and do extra photos, and I gave him some gifts. Um, I actually forgot a gift to Mark in the car, but I one of these days, man, I'm gonna bring it to him, and he'll be happy. But yeah, so but it was really cool to meet them. They were amazing. They were just really cool guys, you know. I don't know, just a really great experience altogether.
That kind of leads me to a few questions that we have like on tap for you. So who exactly communicates with you from, let's say, like Blink-182 when they contact you? Like, first of all, who reaches out to you?
Basically, like just to break it down, like I I've pitched ideas to them. I've pitched like I don't know how many ideas, and they were like, "We want this look, right?" Which was the look of the trippy water drips and things like that. But then from then on, like I was given the full reign pretty much to experiment, and which is sometimes hard, man. Like I mean, sometimes when you have unlimited field, you know, where do you go? You know, so but the trippy drips were really cool to do. You know, like it was like an experiment altogether. You know, when you're it's like an experience. You know, you learn like let's say you work like 6 hours, but you end up only filming for two because you're just playing with different art pieces and like different colors. Different colors have texture. You know, like I don't know. I must have used like 500 different colors really to choose the ones that you see. Yeah. I mean, I went crazy on it, man. Like I bought new tables. I mean, like there's a big old fish tank I bought, and I mean, there's like five different techniques that I use really when you look at it.
So you mentioned earlier that probably one of your favorite Blink songs, pre-Matt, would be "Stay Together for the Kids." What would you say your favorite song that Blink has done with Matt so far would be?
To me, because I've been listening to it for about like I don't know 1,000 times every song, you know, and it's hard to like when you work these things. Sometimes it's like it really, it's hard to listen to one track so many times. But the Wildfire and Long Lost Feeling were really something that resonated with me. Um, from the first album, there was a couple of tracks too, but I mean, I just because it's fresh, I would say, yeah, this is something that I can probably listen to again, like for a couple hundred times.
Yeah, no, I'm happy you said that because before you came on, me and Lloyd were discussing our favorite tracks from the album, and I said "Long Lost Feeling," and he said he couldn't get on board with that one yet. So I'm happy that
I'm with you with the Wildfire, but Long Lost Feeling not so much.
Yeah, I mean, Wildfire is different, right? It's just, and to me, it's different because what I've done for that track, right? Like I don't know if you've seen I'm sure you guys have seen the video, right?
Correct.
yeah.
And that's also organic, made in camera effects. There was there was barely any digital work to that one. So
Really?
yeah, it was all like I filmed up hours and hours of fire and these different effects on it and things like that. So that's what made it to be what you see. So there's a couple of digital graphics on top. So
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of things that people probably don't know. They probably do think it's mostly digital work and not, like physical art. Like you said, you bought new tables and things like that, and you had to record fire.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So like that's something that a lot of people definitely don't know. They probably just think it's something that you can like go into iMovie and type out and put some effects on it. But that's really cool that like this is authentic. It's authentic art. You're messing around. You're doing what artists do. You're trying different colors, different paint splashes, things like that.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of people don't like. And I think the coolest thing you've mentioned so far is that you just went out and had to film fire.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I mean, it was really, I don't know how many hours of fire or whatever, but it was just like an experiment, right? What do you do? How do you get it? How do you get there? And like, no matter what kind of art do you do, I feel like the image you have in your head about the music, what you want to record, and when you actually come to the studio and you record, it really never going to be the same of how it's in your head, So it's a close representation of what I wanted to do, but I don't know. It's just like an experiment, you know. You you start filming, and you just takes you there somewhere, and then you're done, right? And you're like, wow, this actually happened, you know.
So you mentioned "Long Lost Feeling" and "Wildfire" were some of your favorite songs from the album. But what was your favorite song to actually create a video for?
Well, that's the ones actually. That's kind of the reason why I'm saying that those tracks were good, because it everything blended in my head well, you know, like from the audio to I could like you guys there was a question here you guys sent me earlier, you know, like what does music bring out for the visuals? So that's kind of the answer too, is when I was listening to them, these visuals came out, and then they came out so in my head, I think that they came out so well that I love the tracks because of it, you know, as well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Because like you said, you know, it's an expression of not only like lyrics and things like that, but then you can express those feelings that you're getting from the lyrics through the artwork itself, which I think
Yeah.
I think you captured very well in all the lyric videos that you created for each song.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you.
And like we talked about with Wildfire, just like the shakiness of the lens, just because of the like everything was just like it fit so perfectly, which is with that title. Like another one I did want to get into that you created, and this might be one that I don't know if you're allowed to discuss or not. This was one we brought in, but 6'8", Matt's yelling those things in the background. Was that something they asked you to leave out of it?
Oh man, you know, uh, I because I'm not like English speaking person, right? And I thought that like it was completely something different, right? When I was first listening to it, and I'm like, "Fuck, what is this?" Like, I can't really understand. Like, oh, and they sent me something, and they're like, "This is what it is." But you know what? You know, we decided, like mutually, like it was just like make it a mystery. So I really don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, so because that was a lot of talk. In one of our episodes, we had a full on discussion about those things, and there have been things that have come out where he's saying like this song needs some fucking personality, and you know I'm a disappointment. How about I disappoint
It sounds
them more?
just like it, right? That's what it sounded to me, and I really don't know, or I'm not in the liberty to say what it says.
Yeah. So we had like a whole debate though over the show, like whether like why there wasn't, you know, why they weren't included and things like that. And it's pretty cool that, you know, you guys both mutually agreed, like, let's leave it a mystery,
Yeah, I like that.
which sparked a lot of debate about, you know, what the meaning of what is Matt saying and things are like that. So I think that like, even though it was left out, it made for a lot of discussion and brought a lot of people in the Blink community to you know dissect this song a little bit more than they probably would have if those were included.
Yeah, and it's like there's a lot of backing vocals that I've left out, which before it would just be confusing to see so many words over the other, you know. Oh, can I say something? I don't know. Like
Hey, go on.
I started doing these, I think, in like 2008 or 2007. I'm not really sure when I started doing the lyric videos, right? It was random, started like, you know, some of these things is self-taught, but throughout the process, I realized I know that deaf people can't hear music, right? But people can actually read, right? And I'm not sure if you like when you go to a show, man. Like for instance, the Blink show, I was down in the pit right by the band, right? And man, like your whole body is vibrating from the bass, from the big speakers, from the loud. You know, it was a really good show. And I kept thinking like, you know, this can really help bring even more people together, like people from the deaf community, you know, how they can read the lyrics. And like if you put your hand on a speaker, you can feel the vibration. And I think it's just to some of them it actually helps. And one of the fans that I have on on Instagram, he was like, "Oh yeah, my brother is deaf," and like he actually had him watch these, and he was like, "Wow, I love this." Like it just really brings the music to many other people, right? So it like transcends just the sound waves.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like you said, that it brings a different community of people together and things like that, and
Yeah.
those images probably like makes them feel like something emotionally too. Just from even though he can't hear the words, those lyrics that come up on the screen and the way he sees them, it just really does.
Yeah.
It literally paints a picture in someone's
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. I mean, it totally does, and it's like, I don't know, you guys were all teenagers, and like when you're listening to some tracks, they really bring out emotions, and I just feel like this thing can help them express and feel, and you know, like, I'm not saying normal, but I'm just saying, like, that they can express and feel more better.
Yeah, definitely.
No, absolutely. I think 100%. We talked about it because when Blink was releasing these songs, track by track at first before the actual release, the first time you would listen each time would be with your lyric videos. So still in my
Yeah.
mind, when I hear a song like Misery, I still, I see the paintbrush going up and down and like painting those lyrics together because that's the first image I have of that song in my mind.
Yeah, that's wild. And one more thing to add is, like, I'm not sure if it made a difference for people like going to shows, because I haven't been on the earlier shows, but I feel like that when people know the lyrics, they sing more, right? They come to show and they sing, and instead of just kind of mimicking or something, like when you're like, "Bleh, bleh," opening your mouth just so that you're kind of yelling or whatever, but you know the lyrics. And I would like from the band to hear if they've noticed anything in their overall fan interaction. Have they seen more singing?
Yeah, that would
That'd be a cool thing to find out.
And I even noticed that they are doing. I remember the last couple of shows I was at with Matt, and for this California record, they did have like visual images in the background, like the album artwork and things like that. So like I said, like you mentioned, artwork is definitely becoming more important to the actual physical shows and things like that, where it's really bringing people together in every kind of way. Like you said, like someone who's deaf could to look at that artwork while the concert's going on.
Potentially, yeah. Um, I mean, I've seen some live shows before where they actually have the lyrics going as if it was a lyric video. So, but I don't know if it's, I don't know. I mean, maybe they might start doing it.
And maybe not even for every song, but maybe for
have
like
a
a few.
screen on the
Yeah.
side. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll listen to this and they'll use
Hey,
it.
that would be the dream right there, man. So yeah, I want to just keep talking a little bit more about you and your personal work and things you've done. I was, going over the digital Marionette Studios Facebook, and I noticed that you've done work with Snoop Dogg.
The thing that I made for Snoop Dogg was another lyric video, and it was actually, I've filmed him live once, and I've met him a couple of times, and then I did the lyric video. But the best thing about that was that I was able to use Tupac's footage. It was like with the respect and with like with the permission, because they used to sing a lot. I mean, they used to rap a lot and together. So I ended up using a lot of that footage in that video, and having ability to use like all of the everything from the catalog of Snoop Dogg's was amazing experience. It was just, when I got the phone call to do it, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh shit, I'll do it right away. So
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wow. I mean, you're working with Blink-182, you're working with Snoop Dogg. Like, those aren't just anyone's. Those are big names.
yeah, like Adam Levine, I've interviewed him before. Like, I've shot his performances when they were like just starting, right? When they were like opening for Sugar Ray or something. I don't remember. They were in Seattle, so I ended up working with him and Akon. I mean, The Used, right? You guys like The Used?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you used-
yeah.
All right, so I met The Used and I met their manager. That's how like we reconnected through Blink, because it's kind of the same crowd or whatever. And it was like it was just really cool to because I have like tons of posters. I'll send you guys some photos of like the people I've worked with. Like when you work with somebody, they usually give you tons of swag or whatever. And I would just make sure that I have everything signed, and because it's kind of like a collective obsessive thing.
No, absolutely. I'm sure I would do the same thing if I was in your line of work as well.
You're kind of all over the board here. I mean, you mentioned that you liked like punk rock growing up. You played in a band, but are you into rap, or were you into rap before this?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, like I feel like hip hop and rap in general, it's it's kind of the same feeling to me that punk rock has, like where it's not like necessarily rebelling, but it's more like it's more true, to like a human experience. I feel like, because expression and all that.
Wow, yeah, you're like Lloyd just said, you're all over the place, and that's like I said, looking through your Facebook page and things like that. It was like I said, the Snoop Dogg thing was the one that caught my eye the most. We did have a couple. We had a couple of questions that we kind of blended in from fans. The last one that, the last fan question we have from one of our fans, they tweeted at us and said, "I heard Dexter Holland, singer from The Offspring, was involved in Digital Marionette. He said he would love to know if that's true."
Yeah, I saw, like I saw that, and then I was like, I mean, people come up with rumors and stuff. Like I've never met him, but we might have mutual friends or some of the people that I've been working through NoFX connection. So maybe because I know that they're connected somehow. They all hang out together or something. I'm not sure. So I've never talked to him or anything, but maybe maybe he knows some of the people I've worked with. I bet he does.
And the last final question that we have for you, unless Lloyd comes up with any other, the last question I would have is, who's your favorite person, band, or anything that you've worked with?
So it's Blink and Snoop Dogg. There we go. Boom. Can I say something? Like I wrote something down. One more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't know if you, like in the last album you saw the brain, right?
Yeah, for on a Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, so the brain I animated with the hand, right? I that was my drawing and stuff, and I've just learned how to actually do stuff with my left hand, which is weird.
Wow.
Right?
So you're only just beginning. You're evolving.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, it's so weird. Like, but that brain you see, it's actually Einstein's brain.
Really?
And so it's kind of like one of those little things that I try to leave little nods.
That's cool.
Some people that I appreciate, like Hitchcock and stuff like that. And there was in the last Wildfire video, I don't know if you noticed, there's a slight use of a familiar pattern that I don't know if you guys like David Lynch's. You guys know Twin Peaks?
No, I don't think I'm
not familiar with it.
So you guys are different. You guys are different age. Like that was 25 years ago when that show started.
Yeah, we might have just missed that one.
But it's coming out today. Today is the first day that they're releasing it, and because of the fact that I actually watched the whole three seasons while I was making these videos, I popped in a couple of graphics that are kind of a nod to David Lynch's work.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I mean, there's a couple of different things that I've tried to use. Like my good friend that passed away 3 years ago, I used one of his papers to actually draw on it, and it's in one of the videos as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. You kind of have that freedom to kind of just, make it your own and do things that, you want to represent in these songs and these videos, and you had the opportunity to kind of express yourself even though it's through their music.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I think it's an amazing experience to, it's like I feel like it's like any collaborative work where you're able to put in your 5 cents or whatever, but I don't know, the trust and stuff is pretty crazy. That you're letting somebody just either ruin it or make it really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I can speak for everyone when I'm saying you're making it incredible. You didn't come anywhere.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, they're all awesome.
Yeah, but when you're an artist, it's like kind of you're like, fuck, am I doing it right? Are people like gonna dig it? Like, are they like it? It's like
I said, I've even gone on like the Blink-182 subreddit, and I've seen people kind of just mention like, one thing we haven't talked about is how fucking awesome these lyric videos are and things like that. So people definitely are appreciating
notice,
it.
yeah.
And like I said, when I first saw, you were the one doing it, I wanted to reach out and kind of bring you on for this album release episode so we can kind of, not only get an inside look, but, just appreciate the work you've been doing, because I feel like it's gone under. And I feel like more and more people are recognizing it the more they're doing it. And I think it's because of how many you've done. And people are just like, yeah, fuck, this guy's going to fucking work on these. Like, they're great.
Yeah. They're not really cool. Like I mean, the last album wasn't. I didn't had enough time, but like this one really, like it was a trip. Like that Wildfire, as I'm saying, like it just came out of nowhere. It was like an old idea that I had, but it just took so long, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was awesome. We all, like everyone, like I've noticed, everyone's been really like on board and loves the work you're doing. But yeah, that's all the questions we have. That was Momcilo Bozic from Digital Marionette Studios. Amazing interview, amazing work he's been doing. We really do appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks for being on our show.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And everybody go check out these videos.
Yeah, check out the. I'm sure you've already seen him. Check out his Facebook page, Digital Marionette Studios, and just appreciate the work this guy's doing because I'm sure more great things are coming from him.
Thank you, guys. Keep on rocking.
Will do.
Hell
Thanks
yeah.
for coming on.
All right, so that was our interview with Momcilo Bozic from Digital Marionette Studios. Interesting guy, great artist, great work he's been doing for Blink. What was your take on that interview?
I thought it was awesome. We learned a lot about, I don't know. I think if you didn't know, you didn't get to talk to this guy, you would look at these videos and just think it's a guy in a computer doing some designs and throwing up a video, but it's so much more than that.
God,
He's an interesting guy.
yeah.
It's an awesome field that he's in. It was just really cool overall.
Like I said, the biggest thing I'll take away from that for the rest of my life will be that he actually started physical fires to make those videos.
That was awesome. Didn't see that coming at all, and it was...
So yeah, I mean, if you're
Takeaway.
unaware of his work, check him out. Digital Marionette Studios. He's on Instagram and Facebook. Momcilo Bozic is the individual who's physically creating those videos. So just thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We're gonna keep rolling here. Try to wrap up the rest of this show. We did want to get into our if we had to make one California mega CD with 16 songs.
So 16 songs. We both did one joke song, 15
regulars. And yeah, so let's just keep
jump
rolling.
into it.
I'll let Lloyd get started. I don't know about you, but I didn't do mine in any particular order. I just started with California and then kind of substituted in when I didn't want to keep songs on there. So I don't know how you did it, but I'll let you start with your list.
Yeah, so mine is I did California in order, and the songs that I took out, and then I have my California Deluxe all at the end there. So let's hop into it. Well, I don't have Cynical in mine. I'm going to toss that out right away.
Yeah, mine. For those of you, I mean, obviously you can't see, but I have my my list already up on our screen here. So Lloyd has a good look at mine. I have no idea what's on his. So.
Now I know. Got a couple surprises here. Maybe Todd, I know, is a big Cynical guy.
Yeah,
loves it. He's been talking about it since it first came out. So I hated to do it to him, but yeah, it didn't make the cut. I guess moving right along here. Well, all right. So I have Bored to Death on here.
Yeah, you can't take.
And
that
I
off.
have Bored to Death
acoustic.
That's where I got screwed up. I wanted them both on there, but you can't really have them. So
I mean, you can. If you want to do it, it's your track list. You can do it.
I don't know. I felt weird, but yeah, they are both on there. That was my last item. Was Bored to Death acoustic.
Really?
But yeah, they're both there. All right, we've got She's Out of Her Mind's on there.
Okay.
Let me pull up the actual CD so I can go in order because I'm not sure the ones I took out off the top of my head. All right, so yeah, She's Out of Her Mind. That's one that I'm a big fan of. We'll do a full California review in another episode.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have to do
along
that.
with all the albums. Los Angeles, another one that I really like. That's in there. Next on the track list is Sober.
I can't believe you
thoughts
kept
on
that
Sober?
in. Thing is, I'm sure
Because it's on my list.
Yeah, I think if that has a different chorus and a different approach, I probably do keep it on there. I think Matt's verse is very cool. Mark's kind of has like a narrative that's not his, but like something he created, which is also like a interesting. Like, I like
It's totally different
yeah,
sound.
I like the way he writes that verse, but the chorus is just the claps. I didn't like that. The slow, like the
Yeah,
claps
it's
is
a little corny.
I'm
almost,
surprised.
but
Yeah, I'm surprised Travis let that happen because like he's the one playing the drums, and that's supposed to be like his. I guess it's experimenting something new, but I didn't like that. I just think the chorus makes it really cheesy and corny.
I don't know.
For like, and Matt's verse and Mark's verse are pretty dope, but I don't care for the chorus at all. It just kind of ruins it for me.
It's on my list. It's right here.
That's another one with the unnecessary na-na-nas too.
I won't argue with that.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we got my joke song, "Built This Pool," which there was 3 options for joke songs here.
Yeah. It's the best one.
And yeah, I think it's not even close. Wasn't shocked to see it on yours. It's on mine also.
Yep.
No big surprise.
Spoiler alert right there.
So we got No Future next. That makes it on my list.
Yeah.
That's, I think, one of the better looked upon songs from California.
Yeah, that's a good
fan
one.
favorite.
That's one that's probably a little bit darker and not as upbeat, but even like the chorus, I think that's one where the na-na-nas kind of work.
Yeah, that absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, next on the list is "Home Is Such a Lonely Place," and it did not make mine.
Really?
It was my last one out, actually.
Really?
When I added in "Bored to Death" acoustic, which again, maybe I'm just making 2 weeks in a row of crazy "Bored to Death" acoustic ideas here with the single on the radio and now 2 on one album. But
Yeah.
I'll probably come back next week and say that I retract that statement.
Yeah,
as well.
I think that's when you take a closer look at it, you'll probably go back and get rid of the acoustic for that.
So I want it on record that if I take acoustic off, Home is Such a Lonely Place.
Home is Such a Lonely Place is basically like the backups to a wedding.
Yeah, he's ready to come in and play whenever.
When
but
we cancel out board of the acoustic, Home is Such a Lonely
popping
Place coming on board.
Kings of the Weekend, I think, is one of the best songs in the combined albums. Love it.
Really,
That's
All
on
right,
there.
Well, we'll get to that.
He doesn't agree with that. Teenage Satellites is that's on there. That was another one that was borderline for me, but that makes it on there. Rabbit Hole next on track list, not on there for me.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know. This is a song I liked a lot in the beginning.
That was probably one of the if I had to take one off from my list, that was probably I kept
One
it
of the
on.
first ones off?
Well, yeah, but that would have been probably the next one off if I had
Okay.
to take one off.
Yeah, it's a song I liked at first, and it kind
I
of
think
went
I think the
opposite.
fact that it's about Tom is the main
Yeah.
reason I kept it on.
Okay, makes sense. San Diego next, and I'll go ahead and say that this one might be my favorite song from
same here. That's by far my favorite song from
the album.
California.
I'm gonna go back a second. I missed Left Alone, which is on mine. I really like Left
Okay,
Alone.
yeah.
But yeah, San Diego, maybe the best between the two albums combined. I feel like I've said that a few times, but I really
No,
feel good
yeah,
about this.
stress that enough. You can't stress it.
The Only Thing That Matters is on there for me.
Okay.
And then the last two from California are California and Bohemian Rhapsody, which both don't make mine. I'm not a
Okay.
big California guy, the
Okay.
song itself.
All right, I'll get into that on mine. So,
Do you want to pop in my the ones I have from Deluxe, or we
Yeah.
want to do that at the end?
yeah, pop in the ones you have from Deluxe.
All right. So you could probably get a feel from what we were talking about earlier, what's going on here. I got 6 in there. I've got Bored to Death
Wow.
acoustic. So, like we said, maybe next week that's gone. In no particular order here, I've got Good Old Days. Love that song. I think that's my favorite from the Deluxe. I've got Misery and Wildfire, which we've talked about in the last couple of weeks. You know my stance on that. And then I've got 2 of the more controversial songs, I think, in Last Train Home and Bottom of the Ocean. And I think, was it Bottom of the Ocean that
Bottom of the
didn't
Ocean
do it for you?
Didn't do it for me. Had a really good chance to and just let me down.
Yeah, so that's what I got rounded it out. I think adding those 6 in, outside of Bored to Death, it diversifies it a little bit. It makes it, I got some, it's pretty much, well, outside of Good Old Days, a lot of darker songs in there, or slower, different songs added in from Deluxe. And that's my 16 right there. That's my lineup.
All right, I'm just going to go down the list of my 16 and just kind of mention at the end which ones I left off from both albums.
Okay.
So I went 1 through 16 again. I started with California and just kind of took out when I got to a song I didn't feel should be there anymore.
Okay.
Cynical, I kept on there. Obviously, I don't know how you don't keep that on there. It's just such a good track and opener for, especially like it's about the situation of Blink and everything. And just
Yeah.
The only thing, like I think you probably mentioned this before, it is a little short.
That's-
So that might be why for
I
you.
might be being a
but-
little picky, but
but I love that. I love that song. I don't think I'll ever grow tired of that song. It's quick. It's right to the point. It's loud. It's got everything. It's got Skiba screaming, Mark starting off soft and dark, and then him kind of picking it up a little bit, and then 2 keeping Bored to Death on there. You can't not. I think that was such a great way for them to release their first single last year.
Definitely.
It's crazy to think that that album only came out not even a full year ago.
was it July?
July 1st. It leaked a little bit before that, but still, that was less than a year ago that full album came out. We already have another one, which we haven't even talked about how amazing that is. I took She's Out of Her Mind on there. And I took She's Out of Her Mind off of there. And that's where I put in Misery. And that's like I said, that's probably my second or third favorite song. It was my first favorite from California Deluxe, but
So it's making the top 3 overall.
that's probably a top 3 overall between. Then I took out Los Angeles. That's another one. Again, the chorus is kind of lazy. Just Los Angeles, when will you save me? Los Angeles, when will you save me?
Los Angeles, I've said from the beginning, is I saw it live and thought it was awesome, and
Yeah.
I think it's kind of skewing my opinion a bit. Like, thought it was really cool live, but
it's a cool
not
live.
as
Yeah.
good. Just
it's just I don't know. It
studio-wise.
doesn't do it for me. I think it's just kind of a. I don't know. Like I said, the chorus seems lazy. Even the bridge just repeats the same thing over and
Yeah.
over again, and it just doesn't do it for me. So that's why I took it off. I put Good Old Days on there, which we're both in agreement of that. That's a really good song. It's probably going to be could be a top 5 honestly.
yeah.
Between the both, definitely top 3 from the new stuff. Then I just got rid of Sober, and I put in
Really?
just as we just talked about. I don't really care much for that song. I really wish they had different. They kind of reworked that and put a different chorus to that, and I don't like the chorus. Very cheesy. And then yeah, No Future, like we said, that's a great song.
Yep.
It's a little dark. That's where I think you first kind of see the real side of Matt when Blink, because that was probably
Yeah, I
the third
agree.
song they came out with. They released, before the album came out itself, and Matt does the bridge in that, which he kills with the "Where Did She Go," and his verse
it's
in
the
that is
best part.
yeah,
That's
exactly
awesome part.
That's a great part. Probably one of my favorite bridges, in between the two albums itself. And then from No Future, I go "Home Is Such a Lonely Place." You got to keep that in. I know you kept it out, but you did say that you
That
would
was
bring
my-
it
that
back
was my
in, so I can't
replacement,
give
yeah.
you too much of a hard time for that, because you basically kicked it out with a song that's already on there. But
Just
it's
put a song in
different
twice.
rendition. Yeah, exactly. That's probably one of my favorite songs too. Like, even though like it is a softer song, and I think Mark does really good in those ballad type songs. And Matt has this, like I said, his voice is just so cool. That's another one where
Yeah.
it's just awesome hearing him kind of like belt it out a little bit, even though it's such a soft song. After Home Is Such a Lonely Place, I followed up with Long Lost Feeling, because it's kind of got a similar vibe where it's,
So
this,
there's a little thought in the order here.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
I didn't try to at first, but the more I kind of put him in there, I purposely put that one in there like that.
Okay.
Long Lost Feeling, I said, great song. Just love the feel to it. Love that it kind of just like glides along nice and softly, and it's a great soft song. And then after that, I just followed up, try to build it up a little bit. Built this pool, get the fun back into it.
Okay.
Wildfire, I put on there in place of Kings of the Weekend. And the only reason why is because I really do like Kings of the Weekend. It's not like I have a problem with it, and maybe I
A little corny.
yeah,
but
exactly.
I'd
It's
really
it's
like
very cheesy. It's just like the verses, even the chorus. Like I love this song as a whole. Don't get me wrong. I used to listen to that every Friday when the album first came
King
out.
of the Weekend.
Yeah. But like you said, very cheesy. Just I don't think this is one of the ones on the credits where they had co-writers on. So I mean, it just kind of speaks to what they were trying to aim for. And even Matt said this isn't something that he would normally write. So
I think you can
like
tell
in the
that
interview.
listening to it.
And
Yeah.
so exactly, it's just like it's kind of not authentic to me. So that's why I kind of took it off. Teenage Satellites, again, that's kind of one that is a little cheesier, but I like it. I think Matt's chorus and just the way it starts off with that one strum on that octave, the I think that's really cool, and just how it kind of slowly builds up from there. And Matt's chorus, I'll say it again, is phenomenal in that song. Left Alone, I kept on there. Can't get rid of that. That might be
Just love Matt in that.
that's another one where you kind of just see like the authentic side of Matt, his screaming a little bit in the chorus. The verses are really catchy too. I like that. This isn't one of those songs where like the verses are good but the chorus is bad and vice versa. It's just everything about this is so strong. This is one where if Bored to Death wasn't a song, like it didn't exist, I think this might have been the single for them. Just because I don't know why it wasn't. It definitely, I know Matt.
Yeah, I wouldn't have complained if it was.
I had
Bored to
watched-
Death.
yeah,
Awesome also, obviously, but
I had watched an interview with Matt where he had said that this was one that he thought could have been a single, and
Okay.
I completely agree with that. Going down rabbit hole, like I said, there's nothing great about this song. I think I just mainly kept it on because it's about Tom, and I
little
like
meaning
that.
behind it,
I like
yeah.
that they were honest about it. San Diego, I'll fight to my death. That's probably one of the best songs I ever heard. I think that's the greatest
right.
chorus in any song I've ever heard
chorus
in my
is
entire life.
awesome.
And a lot of people say that Mark probably should have sang that whole song, since that's another one that's about Tom, but I think Matt's voice is perfect for that chorus. The only thing that matters kept on there for me. I couldn't take it off, just because I love that it's like kind of like that's like more of like an Enema of the State, Dude Ranch type song where it's just fast, quick,
Right.
quick little love song. Which I noticed there really aren't a lot of love songs.
Yeah, getting
through
away
these.
from that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's something they're doing on purpose or just not something that they're focused on writing about, but I did notice that. Last Train Home surprisingly makes it for the 15th spot.
All right.
Like I said, it grew on me. I like that it's kind of just, maybe I wouldn't put it at the 15th spot because you'll see why. My next song is kind of like another mellow one to wrap up the album, but it deserves the top 16 spot or top 15 if you take out
Agreed.
the joke song. But it just really has grown on me. It's interesting. The only thing I don't like is the bridge where he says "Life's so strange." That's kind of a weird line for me. But other than that, I really do think it's a great song. And wrap it up. This should have been the last song on the album. I don't know why they chose to end it with Bohemian Rhapsody, but California itself, it just fits like a closing song to me.
It is a good closing song.
Like when you listen to it, you're just like, wow, like that just sums up the album. And even Matt had said in an interview where he pictures them playing it live at the end of their tour, just like lighters in the air and things like that, like in California when they're wrapping up a tour. And
I think that'd be cool.
I think that would be. I don't think this will ever be a song they play live. I don't think it has enough love from the fans, but I think
Like
for sure
myself.
this should have been the one to wrap it up, and it would be the one to wrap it up for me. So basically, the songs that didn't make it for me from the original are "She's Out of Her Mind," "Los Angeles Sober," and "Kings of the Weekend."
Quick editor's note here. All 4 of those songs made my list, so
Yeah,
we got some
We'll,
disagreements
we'll
here.
tweet out and Instagram our 2 individual lists, let you guys kind of critique and what you would say, kind of get some feedback from you guys. Would love to hear your thoughts on our list. Songs that didn't make it from Deluxe: "Parking Lot," "Don't Mean Anything," "Hey, I'm Sorry," "Bottom of the Ocean," "Can't Get You More Pregnant," and "Bored to Death" acoustic.
Let's see. We're kind of split there. I think.
It's like half and half.
Yeah, it's about half and half.
You had "Bottom of the Ocean."
Well, I
and
had 2 of those 6.
two, yeah, so not half
I
and
had
half.
Bottom of the Ocean and
But and
Bored
like
to
I
Death
said,
acoustic.
"Bottom of the Ocean," you put some better verses in that song. That's an all timer for me, probably.
Yeah, it's a cool
it's,
sound.
It's a really cool song, but just I thought the verses were just pretty
didn't do it
soft
for
and
you.
pretty weak. So yeah, that's our wrap up for that. The one last thing I did want to get to that I get to every week,
Is it dumb
the
comment of the
dumb
week?
comment of the week.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
time for that. And this really grinds, not to take a line from Family Guy, but this really grinds my gears. What people get. We actually had someone tweet us this week too, where it's where it started. I won't call out the
We're not going to
individual.
put him on blast.
But he probably should. He tried to put us on blast. He said it was when I was giving updates for the league,
The leak.
and he was saying like, how do you guys claim to be fans, but you're willing to help steal from the band?
See, this guy's acting like we're out there
Yeah.
putting the album up ourselves.
Yeah.
We're leaking it. We're just letting you
We're
know
just-
where
yeah,
it is.
Yeah, exactly.
In case you want to.
Yeah, it's what
go down
fans
that
want to
rabbit
do.
hole.
I don't understand how like people don't listen to the leaks and things like that when they come out. And I saw
Let me
some-
just say, if you're gonna listen to the leak and you feel bad about it, do what I did with Neighborhoods and
Yeah.
just buy the album
Yeah,
and
I know,
then leak it.
And a lot of people have said that too. Like I was reading through Reddit like that day, and people have said like, has anyone else not listened to the leak? Things like that. Because like I will never get that. How do you?
If you're a
not-
fan,
yeah.
you want to listen as soon as possible.
And people have said, I feel bad about not buying it, but listening to the leak, so I'll pre-order the album and then I'll
There you go.
listen to the leak, which is what you did. I kind of understand that, but in my case, I didn't.
It's not necessary.
Yeah,
but
like I don't see the need to purchase something that I have for free.
Yeah.
I'm still supporting the band. I'm still going to their concerts and things
Exactly.
like that. I'm still paying money to see them, and trust me, those tickets aren't cheap. So
no, they're not.
they're not losing any money because a couple of people are listening to the leaks. But that was my biggest takeaway. There was a lot of just dumb things I saw on Reddit where people are saying, like, almost bragging about the fact that they haven't listened to the leak. And I don't want to put like individuals on blast, but that's just kind of the main concept this week. I'll say for the dumb comment of the week, where people just like,
You get that every time there's a leak of any album.
Yeah,
It's come
yeah,
on,
like-
just if you're a fan of the music, you want to listen to the music.
exactly. And this is something that like
You don't have to be the guy to leak it.
I said, we've been waiting for a new California or a new album for Blink for like 3 years, and then Matt comes along and we have 2 now, and we're just so anxious for this music. Why would we not want to listen to it as soon as it comes out?
Yeah, exactly.
It just blows my mind that people are bragging, and then I also see like people saying like, oh, like it's killing me that I can't listen to it. Well, yeah, you can just
Sure.
click on the link and download it, and you will have the new songs just right there. It just blows my mind that people make that big a deal. So that's my dumb comment of the week. Just people who choose not who. It's one thing if like you choose not to, like out of respect.
Don't
Like,
go and don't go and brag about it.
Don't attack people. Don't brag about it. Just or that honestly, no, I'll take that back. Just listen to the album. It's out there. You want to hear it. There's no point not to get the leak and just listen to it. If you want to pre-order the album, that's cool. But just listen
Just
to the
listen.
album. Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're a
That's-
fan, listen to the album.
That's like you're not any better of a person, which I think people think that they are. That
They're
they're not
all
listening
high
to
and
it.
mighty.
Yeah, exactly. Like get off your high horse. Like who the hell are you to just I'm so above listening to this album before it leaks. Like or
Come on, man.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just really
I
frustrated.
think you
right
know
now.
where we stand with
Yeah.
these guys.
But yeah, if you're my I guess I'll just say be better to the people who
Be better.
brag about that sort of thing. That's all that we have for today. Lloyd, you got anything else you want to add?
Nope. Good show. Awesome interview. So thanks again to Momcilo for coming on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Momcilo Bozic from Digital Marionette Studios killed his interview. Great insight. We'll actually be posting a separate link to that. So just the interview. So if you don't want to hear our rambling for the reviews and things like that, you can just listen to Momcilo from Digital Marionette Studios.
It'll be worth it.
I think he did a great job.
Absolutely. And next episode we will have Rick back in studio with us. First time we'll all be together. So
Yeah, but like you said, Rick will be back with us next week. It's only going to keep getting better. Each week we're improving more and more. We keep getting feedback from fans. Thank you. Anything else you guys
keep interacting with
you
us.
guys want to grill us, you want to give us some criticism, we'll take it. We're trying to make this show as best as we possibly can for you guys and for ourselves and for the love of Blink-182.
Maybe what we'll do is, you mentioned throwing our albums up there. We'll put them up with a little vote on Twitter, and we'll see.
Yeah, who's got the better album?
Who's got the better album?
Yeah,
I think I might get grilled in this one. It's something about the double.
I think I'm going to win. We'll see. I think that's a
Any
really
sober
good idea.
fans
though.
out there, vote for me.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, Lloyd. And like you said, next week Rick will be back. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it. Great show.
All right, that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Blink-180 Dudes podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Blink-180 Dudes. That's BLINK 180 Dudes.